Hello, everyone. In keeping in line with everyone is a work in progress, which is so true, I decided to take out all of my drawings, flower paintings that I started on. And as you can see, I haven't finished. I have not finished. And this one, even though I might have considered it finished before, I'm going to try to properly finish it, or at least finish it to a point where I'm satisfied with it. Because I am not, I am disgusted by this. I'm disgusted by myself. And so, yeah, there's this, which I was doing earlier, and I never finished it. And then this, which is just such a mess. And one of the problems, I will make a confession here, one of the problems that I have is that I get to a certain point with a lot of paintings, and even though I might know what to do with it next initially, when I was first doing it, um, things drag me away and stop me from remembering, so it ends up being decades, not just years, but decades. And so I completely forget, and there's no chance of me being able to remember because I'm so busy. So, because who's going to remember some piddly little painting, and what you were going to do with it. And the other problem is that I do not have any reference material. I don't have the original photographs. I don't know where the original, what hard drive, what CD. I mean, some of these things might actually be on a floppy disk at this point. And I mean, you literally specifically have to get equipment to read floppy disks now. So there you go. So it's not like the old days of where you could print out a photograph. This is, it was the latest, greatest tech. You were never going to lose it. Stick it on a floppy or stick it on a CD, you know. And now things have changed so much that even having a jump drive is like archaic. So I don't have any reference photographs. I can't go back to the original photographs that I had. I can't go back to the original reference photographs that I had. They're gone. They're absolutely gone, you know. And something like this, it was, came from a potted plant, like a friend actually had like a little pond garden, just these were, flowers that my dad he'd sprinkled the seeds, didn't think anything would happen. Next thing you know, they popped up around the tree, and I just happened to photograph them. I was there. I was like, oh, that's gorgeous. So I had to photograph it. So I can't find the original photograph. So I have no reference point to even know what they're supposed to look like, to even know how I'm supposed to color these in, where the lighting was, how to shade it in. Um, and so it leaves me very lost and very confused in what to do. But despite that, I'm going to sit down and I'm either going to ruin these individual paintings to the end, or I'm actually going to paint them in, color them in with colored pencils, do whatever until I consider them done, or at least done enough to be able to write off as finished. So, yeah, there we go. And since I think these are the most beautiful, even though I have no idea what to do with them or how to do them, I'm going to start with this, and then I don't know what I'm going to move on to, but here we go. A work in progress. Very, very much so. And with no reference photos either. No reference photos. So that's going to be interesting. That's going to be really interesting. And I know that initially I started painting these flowers, this grass especially, with the idea in mind of, a very bright spring green, because I know that the colors were like really bright spring green, and like some of these petals coming from these crocuses and some of the grass around it was this fascinating, beautiful striped green where there be like, dark green on either sides of a white stripe on the blade of grass. Um, or even vice versa, like two lights and a really dark green in the middle, you know. And it was so gorgeous, so beautiful. And oh, and I'm gonna have to continue this in another room, maybe even at another time. So yeah, um, gotta go because the front door is being open. Hello. Okay. Well, obviously, I had to transition into the you know, the bedroom, the sick room, whatever you want to call it. And so I'm here. And yeah, so I think I'm actually going to go ahead and start this out with my Prismacolor pencils. Because when I don't know what to do and I don't focus, there we go. When I don't know what to do and I don't exactly know how to color something, I mean, what I learned was colored pencils. So I'll just go with what I know, which is colored pencils, and just expand from there. I mean, I've been trying to learn watercolors and it hasn't been working for me um, at all. Even though I love watercolor, I think it's the most beautiful medium. Um, I seem to be a natural in chalk pastels or sidewalk chalk. I can blend really well on the sidewalk, which is kind of shocking, really, when you think about it. Hmm. But yeah, but I haven't been using pastels because pastels are such a large medium. You really got to work on very, very large pieces, and then you get very dirty while you're doing that, and it just kind of makes life rather difficult. So, there we go. The greens! Finally found the greens. So, here we go. The greeny greens. Oh, my light green is gone. Darn. Grass green. Oh, dear. Grass green. Peacock green. I think I'll go with a peacock green if I can find it. Because oh, sorry. That's true to the color in the leaves right around the flowers that I was seeing. And the amazing thing is that this area was like very, very white actually from what I remember, Oh, there we go. Peacock green. Okay. Wonder if I should use a spring green or a chartreuse. I think a chartreuse would be better. There we go. Chartreuse for some kind of blending. I don't know if I'm going to do very much on this at all because I don't even know how to go at it. But I've learned now that the best thing to really do is to take a painting like this and or at least the line drawing and turn it into an abstract, and that actually ends up looking, or at least it can end up looking, quite good. In fact, even amazingly good. And clearly I'm going to have to do quite a lot of blending with this. So that's going to be interesting. Mm. Yeah, this is, now I'm realizing this is nothing but a mess, and there's no chance it can, I don't know what I'm doing, and it can do nothing but go awry. You know, Lockery Fine Art said, just do flowers because flowers are the most, I don't know what you want to call it. I would call it abstract. They're the most free form, and it's kind of hard, there's no really, I mean, unless you know flowers really well, there's no real right or wrong when it comes to doing flowers. But I gotta say, ooh, oh man, I hope I didn't crack the lid. It is so dangerous to drop pencils like that. It completely breaks the lead all the way up. And Prismacolors especially are notorious for having weak leads, so, which is not fun. Well, I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to fill all of these leaves in with this one plain monochrome color, because I really don't know what else to do. Now looking back, I did such a bad job at tracing this. I wonder why I even traced it and why I even wanted to do it. I know I wanted to do it because it was absolutely beautiful. And if I see something that's that beautiful and that stunning, I want to color it. I just have this need to paint it. You know, if it's that amazing, it's like, oh, I have got to paint that. you know, why I'm built like that, I don't know. So this must have been one of those situations where I thought it was so beautiful, I absolutely had to copy it in some way, you know, trace it as I did. Grass was quite wild, as I can see. Looks like a complete and total mess to me, but oh well. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and blend that in. Now this is kind of the tricky part. I actually need a blending stump. Ugh. Well, I don't have any blending stumps in here, but I do have blending tortillions. So I'm grateful for that. So even though this already has color all over the end of it, I'm going to use it anyway. That is one of the problems with colored pencil. You do need to have something on hand to blend stuff. And you really do need to have your blender have a nice sharp tip on it, because it's not going to go well. Otherwise, it's not going to look right. It's not going to go well. It's going to be one heck of a mess. I mean, granted, this is a mess already. You know, so... whatever. I have to admit, the TV is back on now and I can hear it. I hope it's not being picked up on camera, but man, I gotta tell you, it really does feel nice to be in here, squirreled away and protected from, you know, TV. Old traditional TV. Man, legacy TV, it's, you know, maybe it's me, maybe it's what is being shown on it, but it's nothing but Bonanza, you know, the Gunman. Oh man, what is it? There's Bonanza, Rawhide, I think it's called, Gunsmoke. Those three. Those three. And then when you're not watching some old cowboy, you know, show, it's politics. And it's just, oh, it's not fun having politics 24/7. You know? It's just, it's awful. It's absolutely awful. Mm. Sorry, I'm not too talkative at the moment. I'm just, it's like, it'll sound weird and kind of nuts, but just doing this blending in is kind of taking all my brain power. Because this is very physical for me and very, you know, pretty physically demanding. So I'm just glad that I can be happy. And I'm glad that even though I don't feel great right now, that things aren't so bad health-wise, that, you know, that I'm all angry and cranky and upset that I'm even around. You know, I'm glad that I'm happy. And the best part is that, you know, I didn't put any stock in any of this, you know, you need to get rid of stress and you need to make yourself happy. I didn't put any stock in it at all, and I really saw it as worthless. But oddly enough, I swear, just after doing the little bit of art, oh, that looks awful. Just after doing a little bit of art here, just within the last video or so that I did, I'm actually feeling better. Like, my actual physical body feels better. I don't feel anywhere near as stressed. Oh, that's an interesting combination. I don't feel anywhere near as stressed. And I actually feel a little bit healthier. And I can't wrap my head around that because I never had an experience like that when I was a kid. You know, anytime, of course, I was never allowed to relax as a kid, even as a young adult, but, you know, doing this art is actually making me feel physically better. I wouldn't call it healthy, but it is making me feel better. I don't know how else, what other words to put it into. It's like my physical body is feeling happy, you know? I mean, when I was a little kid, I would have sworn that my physical body can feel happy, but it's like everything is connected when, you know, you're a toddler, you know. I mean, just watch a kid get a shot and see how much they freak out, you know. It's because everything is so tightly connected, you know. Well, I don't know. I feel like I need to define the edges of these petals and whatnot. And I definitely want to color in the background. I want to color it blue to some degree. I am not going to get this grass right. And so I'm going to leave the grass as best I can. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with these petals. I don't know if I'm going to outline them. The only way that I can imagine outlining them is outlining them in black. Give me a minute. I'm going to dig through my pencils here. Let me see. I got this whole video on a timer. And oh my gosh, it's at the 23-minute mark already. I think I'll go ahead and cut this off. And I don't know if I'm even going to get back to this today, but I'm glad that I was able to do this much. I'm glad that I was able to do this much. And thanks for coming along for this wild ride where I actually changed desks in the middle of the video. I had to change whole rooms in the middle of the video, and thanks for stopping by. Bye.